Thank you, Amitji. Thank you for giving us an opportunity. And it's always beneficial to come at the last because the ground is already laid. There is already some bit of nurturing which has happened. So it's always good to come at the last. And a lot of great points have already been covered. Thank you, Hardeep, for sharing your insights on the template and solving problems that exist, that are real and that are large. I think that's very, very relevant. And Gabriela, in terms of skills, the emphasis on skills, I think this, in the age of disruption, not just for management education, but overall, I think the emphasis and the appreciation for skills outside of the formal education which happens within the classroom, I think has not been more profound than what it is today. And I think that's real. That's really appreciated by across the ecosystem. And I think that's another disruption which is happening in the education space wherein skills are looked at in that same degree of seriousness like the formal education. Just quickly, in terms of what we believe and what I'm going to share in the next 5 minutes, I think one is, as an assessment organization, our take on skills. As an assessment organization, we always believe in something which is measurable, which is standardized, and which can be articulated by and kind of perceived by everyone in the same currency. I think that common denominator is important for global audience to appreciate. And I think that's where we as an assessment company, ET as an assessment company kind of is wired that, okay, fine, skills are great, frameworks are great, but how do we really translate them into assessments which can be understood by everybody in the same vein and at the same time can also result in outcomes? Because at the end of the day, these assessments, these skills should have some outcomes associated with them. It could be success in the program, it could be employability, it could be graduation rates, it could be multiple such, even society kind of upliftment. So there could be multiple such outcomes, but unless and until we kind of create mechanisms to measure those skills, I think the last mile connectivity remains to be completed. I think that's one area that I want to focus on. The second, I think in another from a disruption standpoint in this age is internationalization. And I'm just creating a prelude to the next 5 minutes, but I think that's something that we believe is here and now. Institutions in India, management institutions in India, in Asia, have come to age. This is the time for us to really showcase what we have built in the last 20, 25 years to the world and say that from source countries, we can be the host countries. I think that's something which has been kind of missing in the Indian higher education ecosystem, wherein we continue to be source countries. We are not really projecting ourselves to be the host countries. Why can't we be the host countries? And I think these are two important topics that I would like to just share with all of you and quickly just. Yeah, great. Yeah, so just quickly a minute on who we are. So ETS happens to be the world's largest not-for-profit organization in the assessment space. We conduct more than 50 million tests across the world in almost every country on this planet Earth in 9,000 plus locations. So very global, very standard across the globe. Very interestingly, ETS happens to share its year of birth with India. So ETS was also born in 1947 and so is India. So we both kind of have a similarity in terms of our journey as an organization, as a country. Large-scale deployment of resources across the globe. More than 20,000 resources work with ETS in multiple capacities. And most important, and this is something which is a revelation for me, the products or the offsprings of ETS are more popular than ETS itself. So if I ask 10 people about ETS, probably 4 will know ETS. But if I say GRE and TOEFL, probably 9 will know, or 10 will know GRE and TOEFL. So GRE and TOEFL as products of ETS are more popular in India than ETS itself. But yeah, but that's the fact, which is good, which we take pride in. I was talking about internationalization and just some data, quick data to talk about. I think Asian institutions, and that too in India, have come to age. There is a long way we have grown. We have really institutionalized, and from a quality standpoint, across all parameters, Indian institutions are no different from what we have in the Western world. And I think the biggest thing that at least I am seeing is that the aspiration of Indian institutions, of Asian institutions, to become host countries instead of source countries. So to host, to really internationalize the cohorts. And just one example, China has got close to 75,000 students just from Africa. Now there could be other geopolitical relationships which is driving, but a case in point is that China is also projecting itself to be a host country. And why can't India be? I think that's a very, very important element in the growth of Indian management education. Because if you look at the one unique element that you will find in the cohorts back in US, Europe, is the international diversity of cohorts. You'll have 20 to 25 nationalities sitting in that cohort, versus in India it could be just one. So I think that's very, very powerful. That is very, very qualitative, and that's something that we should work on as a team. Just some more numbers here. If you look at management education in India, 0.5% is our share of international students. Less than 1% is our international student share in the overall 1 million cohort of management students in India. If you look at that compared to US, it's 20%. And I'm not saying that it will happen overnight, but is there a path, is there a strategy for us to really internationalize our cohorts? I think that's something which is important, just to drive the innovation economy that Prime Minister Modi talks about. Where we believe, ETS believes that we can be a partner to Indian institutions in really forging ahead on internationalization is GRE. And most of you are aware, but globally we do close to more than 400,000 assessments. 400,000 unique test takers take GRE every year from 200 plus countries. So almost everyone who is aspiring to study abroad is taking GRE in a way. And mind you, GRE is a universal test, be it management, STEM, liberal arts. So it's a universal test. This is the only universal test which is available globally. And where we are saying that we are happy to partner, I am here to kind of encourage that we are happy to partner with institutions who want to reach out to these students across the globe in markets where you believe there's an appreciation for and there's an affiliation for Indian higher education, to go out to them, to reach out to them and talk about our institution, our accreditations, our strengths, and have that process reverse in terms of really internationalizing the code. So I think that's one element that I would say in terms of a key imperative for all of us. Just moving quickly on skills. Gabriela talked about the skills of future. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I negotiated for 2 minutes, and I'll complete in 2 minutes. Future of skills. So negotiation happens here as well on the stage. That's it. So future of skills, I'm not going to delve too much into this. We have all read the World Economic Forum report on future of skills and how that's going to become even more profound in the next decade or so. One of the ways we decipher power skills, like Gabriela talked about, is transferable skills. In a layman's language, transferable skills remains with me irrespective of the job which I am, irrespective of the company which I am. I continue to carry them. And these are skills which can be known by multiple such names. But this is very important, very powerful, and this is over and above the formal skills that institutions like SP, institutions across India are really doing a great job in delivering those domain skills to the students. At ETS, we looked at all the frameworks, including like what Gabriela mentioned, and we said, of these frameworks, what are the skills that we believe are relevant for the future? And we identified the 11 skills which is there in the middle of this slide. And we said, along with the skills, what are the outcomes that we are really looking for? And if you see, the outcomes are not rocket science, but we want to kind of really be objective that unless and until it is linked to an outcome, it is of no use for that learner or for that institution. And hence, we have created this bouquet of assessments on future of skills, on what we say is transferable skills. PSQ, personal skills and quality. Again,
May I request you to pause?
Pause.
And we will come back hopefully, after Professor
negotiation
Govindarajan.
sails straight.
Yeah. No, you won. You will get another opportunity. Yeah. Let's put our hands together. ETS, the global leader when it comes to assessing skills and capabilities. Thank you so much, Sachin.